Hey guys, welcome back to Gather Around ATL by the ATL Committee. I am Morgan Green, aka Morgizzle, and I'm with the Honorable Ronaldo,
right
aka
now.
Spud Cut. All right. And with the very, very, very lovely, Remy with the I, not a Y.
Okay, that's getting real catchy. Y'all are really feeling that. Y'all are feeling that.
And we are talking about relationships, toxic relationships, continuing to talk about
good dialogue.
Get me right. Toxic relationships, just in general, whether it be a friendship, work,
relationship,
co-workers.
Yep.
So let's get into it.
So, as we were going to continue to say, when it comes to making sacrifices for your relationship, I don't think people are willing to do that. I think a lot of people are willing to make sacrifices for self, but they have a tough time making sacrifices for their relationship.
Girl.
And I think that stems down to sometimes people just wanting things to be about them. Mm-hmm. And I feel like sometimes when you're just going into everything wanting it to be about you, in turn, whoever's on the other end of that, it doesn't matter if it's platonic, a friendship, a coworker, whoever's on the other end of that, I feel like they catch the short end of the stick. Mm-hmm. And I feel like a lot of people are in toxic relationships. They are probably feeling like they're getting less than, or they're getting the short end of the stick, right, or they're getting that person's frustration or that person's anger or that person's like judgy ways, and it can cause turmoil in any type of relationship if neither of you understand the importance of making a sacrifice, which is better for the party. It doesn't have to be a relationship. It can be anything in general, right, making sacrifices.
All right. Well, I'm gonna talk about as far as being a relationship with I'm gonna say partner, because we got
more chestnut.
More gizzle.
Don't activate.
So this one of my things that me and Remy was talking a while back, and I was just telling her, like with relationships, man, when you whip somebody, it's hard. A relationship, a marriage is hard. A relationship is hard. Yeah. We all know that it's hard. It's not gonna be easy.
Right.
But the thing that helps is because nobody is going to ask of their partners something that's detrimental or something that they think is crazy. Like, I'm only going to ask you something to do that, like if you know something that I like, right? Let's say me and you dating, right? Mm-hmm. And I know you like flowers. You've mentioned you like flowers. So I'm not going to give an excuse on, man, I'm not giving this girl flowers every month. I got to go to Publix. I got to go over here and I got to make sure this store don't got it. And then that's what, a dozen of roses, that's $20. That's $20 every Friday. That's $80 a month. I'm not finna. That's easy to make the excuses. But if I like her and I'm in love with her, it's a sacrifice that's not going to kill me.
Right.
That I know I can do for Remy, that she's going to like. And hopefully in return, she'll want to do the same for me.
So you feel that's key.
Yeah.
If someone intentionally does.
Yeah.
Well, I think you like, no one will ask you to do something that's not detrimental, you say?
Right.
In toxic situations, people do.
Like when you say in toxic situations, people do. So I can't speak to toxic relationships, and I don't want to give advice. The only advice I can give to a toxic relationship is to leave.
As Morgan mentioned on the last episode, though, that some people don't know how.
There's a lot of things. Number one, I just wanted to kind of ask, I think part of what you're saying is you want somebody who understands your love language.
Love language. You know what I mean? It don't, yes, love language, but it don't even have to be. It's because what do y'all think most couples argue about?
Finances.
I was going to say money.
Yeah.
Money.
Quality time.
But
you didn't answer the question.
Most couples probably argue about sex.
What was it?
He asked.
Well, those are 3 bangers.
I have
Money,
so many
sex.
questions about that.
Money, sex, and
But I'm
quality
gonna
time
leave
are
it
probably the
alone.
three things couples argue about most. But go on with your question.
But because I feel like some people feel that the things that they do, they want to be reciprocated. So in any type of friendship, relationship, whatever, it's like, hey, if I treat you this way, I want you to treat me the same way. But their perspective may not be the same as yours. So
Right.
I was just saying, hey, I think more importantly, you want somebody to understand what your love language, because I can already
Right.
tell you need to know that somebody is there, like somebody is supporting you. Somebody is like,
So when I say that, I mean when you have a mature conversation with your partner and you tell that person what you would like,
Mm,
and that person tell you, okay, I hear you, I understand. This is what I would like also.
right.
Okay, so when we walk away from this table, then we kind of know, okay, maybe this week this person don't, had a rough week. They really don't want to be bothered. You know what I mean? Maybe let me just give them a little space. They've communicated that. Now I'm saying when your partner communicates something, because most people say the problems be communication. And I don't think it's communication, I think it's comprehension. Because if I'm communicating to you something that I want or how I'm feeling, and you're saying you understand, but your actions is not saying that, we have a problem.
Okay, but to bounce off Morgan, reciprocity can look different.
Mhm.
For example, there are so many debates online about how a relationship should be, and I tell people all the time, stop taking advice from social media on your relationship. First of all, if I give you time,
while we give advice.
well, true, but like we're not giving advice from a ill place.
Yeah.
From us, we're single, lonely, and miserable, so I'm going to project and I want you to be miserable too type of advice. We're not giving that.
Understood.
If I give you time, reciprocity doesn't mean you have to give me time back.
Exactly, but that's, at the same time, it's saying if I ask you for time and you ask me for roses, you give me time, I give you roses.
Right.
We both know that.
And then we both get what we want.
In most situations, you want time, right? I give you time. And then, I want time. You give me time. I don't give you roses.
Well, that's reciprocity, but I'm telling you,
that's not reciprocity.
If you don't get anything back.
Not getting
what I'm saying is, I feel that when I hear you say that, I'm just saying, I feel like if it was articulated, hey, this is how this makes me feel. Not just in return, this is my love language. This is my connection to you personally.
Right.
This is our intimate connection when you do this for me, when you bring me roses, whatever it is, you know what I mean?
And let's say you communicate, because I would think if you said
okay, go ahead.
Huh?
Go ahead. You said let's do it.
If you said that exact thing, right? To me, that sounds like great communication. You said what you would like.
Yeah.
So imagine doing that.
Be frustrated.
And then not getting it.
Yeah.
And then you say, okay, well, maybe I didn't say it right. So let me say it a different way.
Yeah.
Then you say it a different way.
And it's still not done. Yeah, I get that.
So then at that point, what do you do?
Bye. I mean, but I'm not married. So
like she said, like you said, it ain't always that easy.
You're right. And I feel like it's a lot of sacrifices, kind of going back to what you were saying in regards to relationships, but I've never made it to a long-term relationship. So
what's the longest you've been in a relationship?
I guess like 8 months. Like
that's
2 relationships.
You're lying.
Yeah, like 8, 9 months. Yeah.
You swear.
I think I was like, none of them made like a full year. So I've only been in like 3 relationships in my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like maybe 4. Hopefully I didn't forget anybody.
That's crazy.
I like if I'm with someone, especially in my adult life, I'm like, listen, I want to make sure that I'm with the right person that is going to be beneficial to me, and I'm going to be beneficial to them. I'm going to be a great partner for me. They're going to be a great partner for me, and I'm going to be a great partner to them.
Right.
And I feel like a lot of relationships, as soon as you have your first argument, some people or disagreement, it's just kind of like, oh, you're not doing what I want you to do,
and people walk out.
Yeah,
they're like,
so
bye, I'm done.
Well,
but that is so a part of it. Like
Yeah.
there is such thing as toxic, like, oh, we're arguing all the time. But there's also such thing as like you're having healthy arguments.
Yeah.
Like you need to have
'Cause you-
those. That's
you're
not toxic. Like
Well,
There you go.
disagreements.
you
I
need
never
to
had
have a
arguments. Yeah.
disagreement.
Because you ain't going, I don't care what relationship that you have, friend, lover, boss, you always gonna have some type of
Disagreement.
not argument, but some type of disagreement
Agree.
or problem or issue.
Yeah.
The thing is, the mature thing to do is bring the issue to the table and let's come up with a solution for the issue. Now, if
Right.
I bring you an issue to the table and you don't care about the issue, no matter if you're my lover or my boss, even if, let's say, if you was my boss and I brought an issue to you, how many times I'm going to bring you an issue that doesn't get looked at or cared about
Right.
before I say, well, I just got to get a new job. Because at that point, you don't care.
Because I've expressed the issue time and time again.
And you think you're going to go in life without having no issues?
Impossible.
Thank you.
But I feel like I will say there are some situations that are toxic, but a lot of people also confuse toxic with just challenging.
Mhm.
Everything's not toxic.
Mhm.
Like I feel like that's too.
Well,
there are
what is
people
toxic?
in. Well, I have to remember my exact definition that I used earlier, but I pretty much said that I believe toxic is something that brings you, your spirit, your life, your situation, angst, anger, uneasiness. You don't feel comfortable. You don't feel like you can be your true, authentic self.
Mhm.
That's probably not best for you. It's dangerous.
Mhm.
And that can go for anything: work,
Mhm.
friendship, relationship, mentorship. That is a blanket definition. So I feel like there are situations that are toxic, but there are just some things that are just, you need to just man up, woman up, and have a tough conversation.
There you go.
You need to have a tough conversation.
There you go.
And a lot of people can't have that because they're uncomfortable. And I think some people do fall under the, I'm leaving, like, this is so toxic. They throw that around. Like toxic. You have
Mhm.
some people that are really in toxic situations, like real life stuff going on that is hard to walk away from, is dangerous, is causing deep depression, is causing unsettledness, is causing like feeling like I got to get out of this, but I don't know how kind of situations. But other situations, when it just comes to simple disagreements, or maybe we're not on the same page, or we need to have an uncomfortable conversation,
Mhm.
don't just fall back on the, this is toxic, like I got to go. Like, you're going to have disagreements and you
Mhm.
can't just walk away from relationships. Some people
Right.
feel like you can. You can't. You
'Cause
can't.
What get misconstrued is when a job, a relationship,
Yeah.
when you leave one and you go to the other one, most people in the beginning always want to show that they weren't the problem.
Mm.
You don't really get the actual problem till later. So if you go to a job, let's say you get fired from a job, right? And then you
They
go
don't
to
talk about
another,
what they
then
did,
you go
yeah.
to another job. You're gonna be the best. Probably for that first 90 days, you're probably gonna be the best work because they probably gonna look like, man, what happened?
I can't believe he got fired.
You
He's
know
a
what I'm
great
saying?
worker.
Yeah,
And then the
but
true colors
it's
come
all
out.
the front. It's same with a relationship. This
That's
person
true.
go over here and they cooking and they doing this and they cleaning and they just oh my God, I got me a good one. And it's like, give it time.
Mm.
Give it time.
That's true. And you never really know somebody until you know somebody.
And it takes time. And you really ain't gonna know them until that first disagreement come up.
Right. Because you know, I'm
Because
like argument.
maturity
Morgan's like
in a
disagreement.
relationship
Yeah.
always
Well-
come with
I'm like,
go ahead.
an
I don't want you to-
argument.
I don't want you
Morgan's
to-
like,
I don't want you to
no, it's
forget
a
it.
disagreement.
No. And the reason why I say this is because I've never gotten an argument per se with
Well, what's
anybody.
an argument? Yelling? Or an argument is the argument yelling?
Mm-hmm.
Argument certain topics, or argument how we're communicating?
Yeah. Oh, I feel like anytime that's a good.
What makes something an argument?
When it comes to
Yeah,
yelling, when
I don't
someone
know.
starts yelling, I feel
Yelling
like
makes
it
it an
becomes
argument. Okay.
an argument. But I feel like each relationship that I was in, we've had disagreements, and I feel like a part of communication
Yeah.
is being able to articulate how you feel, and they can articulate how they feel, and just trying to come in
Ooh.
between. You know what I
Some
mean?
people can't even tell you how they feel, though.
That is-
and that
that
can
is
be a part
true.
of the problem. You like,
That is
but
true.
I don't understand how you feel because
Correct.
they can't articulate it.
Yeah.
So you
But
go
granted,
get-
I haven't been in a full year
But that
relationship.
does not
But you get
negate
help.
any of your points.
There's always
yeah,
there's always help for stuff like that. There's
facts.
books, there's therapy,
Yeah.
there's so church.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They at my church they have couples, like they have events on like Saturdays, not Saturdays, but on Saturdays, sometimes out the year, they will have like couple retreats or couples things to come and talk about,
Same at my church.
stuff like that. So it's always, if you want the help, it's there.
Right.
So you just have to want it. And it's not always, but like in most relationships, that end is going to be because one person didn't care. And the
Care
other
enough.
person, care enough. And then the other person's like, if I don't leave,
I'm caring too much.
if I don't leave, I'm gonna be stressed out.
Yeah. So I feel like those are our main takeaways from this, is that we can identify the difference between something being toxic and challenging. That's important.
Yeah.
Knowing that people do understand toxic situations are hard to walk away from.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to stay and learn to communicate, learn to work through tough times, help is available. And Ronaldo's key takeaway and his key to unlocking a successful relationship is knowing and understanding what your partner needs and likes.
Mm-hmm.
Doing that.
Trying.
Communicating with your partner
Mm-hmm.
what you need and like,
Mm-hmm.
and letting them know you would like that from them.
Right, because you're not gonna just, it's not just gonna click. But the thing is, if I see my partner trying, that's like the main thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I see my partner trying, then that's different from, I ain't even,
Right.
don't even care.
Right.
That hit different. But I do want to ask y'all this. And I hate to get away from this, but it also has to do with relationships. I saw this clip on YouTube, and they were talking about dating. And what they said was, why do people date? Because one guy said people date just something to do. And one guy said people
Lord.
should date for the long term, like marriage or a relationship.
It's different levels to dating. I feel like people date to try to get to know the individual, because just because you meet somebody on at the grocery store or whatever, you know what I mean? And you go out to dinner with them.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't necessarily mean that this person's going to be the right person. Dating is getting to know the person to see if they're going to be a match for you or you're going to be a match for them. And what does it look like progressing forward? And you also have to earn their trust, and they have to own your trust as well before you can fully commit to them.
Right. So how many people is okay to date at one time?
That's my business. I'm kidding.
Right. Yeah. Y'all see Morgan had some answers to that question. He was quick to jump in with answers for dating. But yeah, we hope you just walk away with knowing that toxic relationships are out there, and resources are available, and
Just be mature about it.
Be mature about it. Communicate.
ATL committee.
ATL committee.
Gather around ATL.
Out.